Alrighty, welcome back. I'm going to do a little bit to Elvis today. We were at Aiden's yesterday. We're trying to help him get a floor thing set up there. The car's quite rough, I must admit. It's quite rough. Didn't realize it was that rough. But let's face it, it's something for him to learn on. I mean, if you've never fixed something like that, you would never know how to do it. And I think him taking the time and taking his brain and learning how to fix that will show him that he can do anything. And it will show how the car is made and how it's built when he's tearing it apart. I think it's an excellent project to learn. I've fixed worse, and I've also fixed better, obviously. But it is something to learn on. If you do not fix it, you'll never know how to fix something like that. And that's how you learn how to build a car, is to dive into it and go for it. So basically, I think it's a good project for him, even though it's a lot of work. Yes, it is. Don't know if the time and the labor is worth the car that he's going to be fixing, but in the end, and the experience will be well worth more than that, if you know what I'm trying to say. Jolene's Bugatti, I've kind of got, well, not kind of got the chassis primed on the underneath of it. I don't know if we've seen that or not. Can't remember. It's been a day or two, but we got that done. Aiden helped me take the front end apart. We got some pieces primed. We got to flip them over and prime the other side. So what I've done is I just primed one side. I'm not going to pick them up, prime one side, then I'm going to flip them over and prime the other side. And basically we've already showed enough primer. I just come in here and prime them, dump some primer on them. I've got them all separated and all dealt with. The rear end has been primed. Let's go take a look at the rear end. I want to show that for a second. And basically what I'm going to do today is I'm going to try to hook up the steering on Elvis, because this stuff is in here. It's primer. Like I said, I can keep priming and showing you the priming situation, but you can see the rear end here. Now, that has been sandblasted, cleaned, and primed. You can tell that that's rough. Now, like I said, the only way that you are going to make that look nice is to get some filler and fill it, smooth it out, prime it, and be done with it. It's going to be a little smoother than it was before because we dumped some primer on it. We're going to be able to sand it, but that's basically where it's at. We're going to probably paint it like that. That's the top side, so you're really not going to see that when you look underneath the car. You'd have to be your head up inside, up in here somewhere to see that, so we're just going to probably just leave it. I kind of talked Jolene out of it, you know what I mean? It's kind of work that is not necessary. But right now is what I've got going on here is on Elvis, I made it a one-piece car. You can see I welded the fenders on, got the exhaust coming out underneath the fenders. And what I've done is I've rounded the hood off here. The fender had to be welded on to make that round part there with the hood's on, and it's welded together here. We've got this piece sitting in here now. We've got it laid in there. What I'm doing now is I've got the steering cut off at the steering box. On these cars, generally, you have to take the steering box off the chassis to get your steering column, or to get your steering column out. And where I've got this car all welded together, I'd have quite a time to do that. So what I've done is I've taken a grinder and I've cut that off. And where I've cut that off, there's a piece right here. I'm just going to take it off. That pulls off. And that goes on there, and that clamps on there, and then you'll be able to pull your column off. But you still would have the steering rod going up through this. And as I look at this, it looks like there's it would have been a seal of some sort, I guess, but it does not fit the shaft. I don't know if it's worn out or what it is, but it does not fit the shaft. So basically, it's not really a seal anymore. It's not a seal anymore. And what I have is I've got this little piece here. It's like a flint locker, a flint lighter, I guess. It's got it seems like it's like a felt. It's like a felt sealant, I guess, a felt sealer. I'm not saying a felt sealer, but it's felt. You know what they say? This is cotton, this is silk, and these must be felt. Something like, you know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, we won't go there. Jolene's smiling. As I got this on here, you can come in here and see on this. You can see that there's a little gap around that. I can see that. I'm not sure if fluid would come through that or what, but that's like a little, it's like a little felt thing off a flint lighter or something that would soak up fluid. But this basically here, when I put this on there, I'll put this back on just for shits and giggles to show you. Let's put this back on. Oh, there goes the door. I'm gonna put that back on. And you never know this stuff until you do it. You can see that does not seal around that. It does not seal around that steering rod. This is a steering rod here. I've cut that off. I took in a grinder and cut that off. I got lucky to cut it. Well, I got lucky. I took a guess and I cut it where I where I wanted to cut it to give me a little bit of room to put a universal joint on. That's what I did. Left myself a little room to put a universal joint on, so I could take, when the body comes off this car, I don't want to be able to, I don't want to undo all the steering and take off the steering box and undo the pitman arm and that sort of stuff to pull it off. That's what I'd have to do. I'd have to take that off and pull it up through the floor to get the car body off, because I don't get the front fenders off anymore. So I've kind of made a situation where I've got to, I've customized it. Now I've got to go a little bit further, and I'm going to customize the steering column. But this little flint thing here, this little whatever it is, you can see that does not seal that. So I never sealed it before, so I don't think it has to seal it now. But this piece goes on here. I can see a little gap around there. I'm not sure if that would spit out power or fluids. No power steering in this. It's standard steering. So if I wanted to, yeah, I just put that on there. There it goes now. Now it's down on the ground. I'm going to get on the ground and get it. But what's going on is I've got this. I bought this steering column. It's an I Did It steering column. It's $129. I have to pay the American price. Yes, I do. I'm going to go get that little thing on the other side. Have to pay the American price. I think it's $129. Then I bought this universal joint. This is called a double D shaft. When it's three-quarter inch round, but the double D shaft is for, I guess the double D is for the two flat sides. When I ordered the universal joint, I wanted a double D with a 3/4 inch round, but I kind of made a mistake. I do that a lot. 3/4 inch round, and then I got another 3/4 inch round. 3/4 inch round, I'm going to try it on that shaft. Got my fingers crossed it's going to fit on that shaft. So this 3/4 inch will go on the shaft on the steering box. This 3/4 inch double D 3/4 inch shaft is going here. I'm going to order a different one because I want to be able to unbolt it. I can modify this and make it work. Yes, I can. I can drill a hole through this and drill a hole through my double D shaft here, and I can bolt that on there. Yes, I can. And you never know. I might. I'm not sure. It would save me from buying another one. And this part is a weld on, so this would go down on that shaft on the car. I'll leave that little flint, I don't know what you call it. This here, as I'm hoping, will go down on top of this. It looks like, well, it's not really going down on top of that, eh? So I've got an issue going on here a little bit. Oh, geez, it looks like it should fit, but it does not. So what I was thinking is I was going to put this down on that, weld it on there. I'd put my flint thing back on. I'd weld that down on there. Not sure how that piece that goes on. I guess it would stay on there if I shoved it down on there. I wouldn't want to catch it on fire or anything. I'd have an air hose. But I weld this on this here like this. This is the piece that goes on the floor. I got this changed because I've changed the brakes. Everything I've done, I've modified. This is supposed to go on here like this. I'm going to have to cut that off right there. Put this back on. I've got a 3/4 inch ball, swivel ball that would probably go through that hole there and hold the steering column itself. And then I've got the dash that has this piece here, and I was looking for a piece of rubber to hold that in place, and then I have this piece here that bolts to the dash that holds the steering column in place. So if I wanted to take the steering column out, I unbolt this from the dash. I undo the bolt that would, if it goes on the double D shaft, there's one, I think it just slides on the side of it. which I might just drill this one just for mock-up. And then I would weld this end to that. So I'd unbolt it here, pull the double D shaft out. It would come out the 3/4 inch ball that's in the floor. I'd unbolt this from the dash, and then I could take my steering column off, and then I could pull my car off the frame. That's basically what I've got going on, and that's what I need to have done. So what I'm going to do is, I know that I'm just going to take and get a die grinder going and get a little grinder going. Where I've cut that off, I might have burred it up a little bit, so it's not going to go on a little bit. I'm going to round that end up a little bit, and then I'm going to see if I can get this shoved on. See what happens. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm going to try to mock up the steering on Elvis. I'm going to leave that stuff alone for a little bit. I can turn the other stuff over, like the rear end, I'll turn that stuff over and prime that after. I don't think we need to see that again. We've done it enough for now, but I want to get in there and round that end off, and I'm going to get in there, I guess. That's up there as far as it can go. Let's get the air. I'll get the air going. This is the ball joint that I'm talking about. This is Jolene's mock-up dash. This is the 3/4 inch ball, the swivel ball that I'm talking about. That would be down on the firewall. That'd be down on the firewall, so I have to make that piece of metal that I showed you. I'm going to have to modify that, and I'm going to make that fit. So that steering column goes up through that, but I want to get the try another one of these, see if I got another flapper wheel. I might have and I might not have. And I do. Just going to try to round the edge off of that and see if I can get that to fit on. That's basically all I'm going to do. It's funny, you know, you do one thing and it just goes right down the line where you have to do a whole bunch of different things to make it work. Basically, what I want to do is get the sharp edge gnawed off that steering shaft. Go inside and get the other side. It's not leaking like a sieve or nothing, is it? I'm going to turn the wheel then, make it easier. Look at that now, would you? Pretty basic. Pretty basic. Turn it back the other way. Excuse me, sweetheart. We've got all the air taken out of this thing, so it's probably not turning as far as it should. Alright, I'm just going to knock that off. If I jacked her up, I probably could turn it a little bit further. My double D shaft. Not going on, is it? So, what it tells me is I'm going to have to knock this out a little bit. And you know how I do that. Geez, I'm going to tape measure that thing to see what it is. Actually, I've got one of these things. Tell me what it is. Don't use that much, but I'm going to use it right now. Come on now. Use this side. You can see 3/4 inch is right there. We're 1/16 above 3/4 inch. A 1/16 is, well, a 1/16 is one line. It's not very much. 1/16, that's what it is. 1/16 bigger. Actually, it's right, should be right on the money. It says 3/4 just. Should fit right on, it should. It's telling me. It's less than a 1/16 bigger than 3/4 inch. So I'm just going to take and maybe hone this out just a little tiny bit. See what happens. Basically that's what's going to happen. It didn't look any bigger, so just take a little bit off. Careful, I don't want to make it loose, and it could be just the it's so, you know what I mean, it's so close. Let me go down on top of that. I'm going to change the bit on my die grinder. I put them at now. Let's get a couple wrenches here. I've got a bunch of stuff to paint. I can. Usually should have the tools around for that, but how it goes. Just keep grabbing till you get it. Oh, I should have put in that new one we got. We got a new grind right there. I don't know where I put the wrenches for it right at the present moment. I got a die grinder right here. I think I do. Be nice to have one like this to go in that hole. Should come out to. It's not going to accept that. Well, carry on. Carry on, he says. Pair of vice grips. Channel locks will do, I think. Maybe. Not really. Sometimes he can be buggers. Had to get that out of there. Leave that there. Put that in there. Now I can get a nicer grind on that instead of having something that's pointy and not doing a good job. So what I'm doing is I'm just running it in there and just taking a little bit off so I can get it to go on that shaft. Woohoo! Don't want to do that. That thing is grabbing. Wow. That one's sharp. Just wondering if I damaged anything. Don't want to damage anything. Good. All I did is clean up the inside. You can see I'm just cleaning up the inside in there. Ah, it's so close. It's on there now. Ha ha! A little bit further. And put it down here, just go easy. These things are very delicate. The other side. You can see I'm just taking out very just gently. I want to blow out all the metal shards out of the joint. You can see way down inside that the shaft can only go so far. Cool. I think we're not doing a bad job. Now we're going on there. Just a little bit further. Aye. Just a little bit further. I sound like Papa Smurf, don't I? How much further, Papa Smurf? Just a little further. Just measuring the blade, and it only goes in that far. So basically I want to go in that far. Didn't like that. Didn't like that. You can. Hey, that's where we want it. And there's lots of material left. Lots of material left. Didn't take much off. You can see that side. Just enough to get it on there. And this is a weldable universal joint. That will go on there like so. Huh. Goes on there quite easy now. It's got a little bit of bad. Now I just want to see if it goes up in there too far. And it does not. So I'd end up welding that right around that edge there. It's a weldable joint. It's got a little tiny bit of movement, but not much. Looks even. And I'd weld that around there, and I put that flint back on it sitting down there. So then let's put my dash in. I'm gonna grab my gloves that we got from the nice big gloves. Wow. Just gonna put them on to hold that dash. Got a couple screws here. Hopefully I can screw the dash on. Then I can set the steering column up in there and basically find out whether I got a long enough steering column. I only bought a 32-inch, I think, steering column. I think we bought. So I want a screwdriver and a couple screws. Let's do this. Dump them right on the floor there, and then I'll get the screwdriver. We'll put the screws in that work. Now this piece here, I thought I'd be able to put this piece back on, but I can't get that on because I can't shove it over top of that. Well, let's try it. No, it doesn't go over that universal joint. It doesn't go over top of that. I have to be really careful on honing that out. I probably hone that just a little. I guess it's fine once it's welded on there. It's not going nowhere. Okay, I'm going to leave this piece aside. Didn't really want to handle that and then handle it on my gloves, but there we go. I'm going to put the dash in. As you can tell, I'm here today by myself. I guess what I will say is I lost my patience. I've lost my patience on something. Lost my patience, and I'm here by myself. And the reason I lose my patience sometimes is because I feel like I'm giving my brain and my time, and when I feel like the other person is not giving me the same back, I just shut it off. And basically that's what's happened. Just kind of shut it off. So if you have seen someone here that was here before and they're not here now, basically you can tell yourself Chad must have lost his patience, and that's it. Like, basically that's how it goes. I do not, if I'm going to give my time and my energy, I want it back. Out of some, I want it back. That's basically how it goes for me. And yeah, that's all I got to say. Must have lost my patience. And sometimes it happens, and sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to stick one in here for now. So, as you think, oh, Chad's got excellent patience. Yeah, I do. If someone wants to learn, I'd give them anything. If I feel like someone's taking advantage or just wanting to be here because the camera's here or something, it doesn't last long. I figure it out. It's not going to be that great, but it's going to hold it in place. I got another one here, maybe. And it's just like this. In life, if somebody is trying and going for it, there's not a person in the world that would not try to help that person. But if that person has an agenda and is not putting in what you think they should be putting in, it's not long when the hand does not want to be lent out. That's how it goes. And people should know that. Now, I've got a steering column I'm going to stick in there. I'm probably going to do another universal joint there. It's a funny thing when you funny thing. I want the double D shaft on this end so it fits this nice. Also, where I wound it out with that die grinder there a little bit, now it's just a little tiny bit. It's fine. If it's going to be a weldment, but I think that I would like to have it just a little bit tighter. So what's going to go on is I've got this piece here. This piece here used to go here, but you can see I made this because I got a new brake system going on. I'm going to cut this firewall back a little bit too on one side here for the gas pedal and my foot. I kind of got it over quite a ways. I got the engine pulled back quite a ways in the car. It was a funny firewall to mess with, but anyways, I've got this in here like this. You can see where it bolted and screwed in right there. So I'm going to come in here, draw a long line across the top of that, cut that off. Then I'm going to use this piece because this is the piece where it come up through. You can see where it overlapped, I think a little bit. That went in there like that. So now I'm going to have to cut this and modify this to put this in there. And then I've got the 3/4 inch round ball over there, the swivel ball over there, and that 3/4 inch swivel ball will be mounted inside this. So that'll go in there like so. Hoping so. I'm going to get in there. There we go. Now we've got a piece that goes use everything you got. I'm going to get a piece of, I'm not sure if there's a piece that needs to go on the top of this thing. I get a pair of, I'm going to just lay that down. Lay that down like that. I'm going to put a couple small bolts in that so I can bolt it up, see what I got going on. There must be another piece that went on the top of that, or maybe that goes in like that, and then there's another piece that goes on the bottom that clamps it together. I'm pretty sure there must be. But I'm just going to stick this on there for now. I'm going to put this on there. Got this in the way. Did you pull that over there like that, sweetheart? No? I must have. All right, what I'm going to do in this, heck with that, I'm just going to slide it up in there. I got a pair of vice grips over there. I got a little pair of vice grips here, and I'll just clamp it in place. That way there I don't have to find the bolt or nothing. Too big. So I do lose my patience once in a while. Yes, I do. If I feel like I am not getting back, you know, if someone does not want to use their brain and I have to use mine, and they don't want to use theirs, well, I don't accept that, because the reason it tells me that they're not willing to put in what I'm putting in, and I'm not giving somebody something that they're not willing to put in half the work. You know, I'm willing to show them. I want someone that is, you know, working here, have to put in their brain work. I do not put up with foolishness very much, very long. And sometimes, if you're not serious about something, the foolishness is obvious. So it's kind of high, eh? So what I'm going to do is, obviously, so this piece would go here. Nope, let's knock this off for a second. So this tells me now that I'm going to have a what I'm going to have is a column that's dropped a little bit, if you know what I'm trying to tell you. See how that's going down there? I'm going to drop that steering wheel down a little bit. I don't want it in my lap, but that's not bad, I guess. I like to drop it down a little bit more. Yay! Don't fall on me, Colin. Ja. Wow. vice grips are a little bit. Loosen them up a little bit. Yeah, then I can tell the adjustment that I want for. This is a 3-bolt steering column. So what happens is your steering wheel gets bolted on by 3 bolts. And what I generally do is I take any steering wheel that I want. I've got a steering wheel inside there. I take any steering wheel I want, and I'll cut that base of that steering wheel, and I'll make the 3 bolts fit whatever I want. You can get the one that takes the steering wheel off. You can have that one, like Jolene has. She has that for her car. And basically we can see, I think that would be nice because we're not going to have a big steering wheel like that. Right about so. Not bad. I don't want the steering wheel way up in my face. The steering wheel that I have, I'll show you what's going on. I've got it onto the other steering column, on the original steering column. And the reason I'm changing the steering column because I want the nice 3/4, I want the nice stainless steel on the inside. This one was a column shift. This is a steering wheel that I've kind of customized and made myself. It's from an old Dodge truck that I found in the junkyard, and I kind of liked how it was kicked back. I can see that I've tacked it on there with a welder, so I'll cut it off. But what I'll do is I'm going to cut this off. I just tacked it on there with a welder because I wanted to see what it looked like. These are actually knobs that goes on your windshield wipers. These knobs, you're going to delete your windshield wipers, you have the knob that comes out, and these just go on there. And what I've done is I've put these on there, and I've just kind of getting a look like they're just bullets that you can buy. This steering column I'd end up painting and doing whatever I want to do with it. I have this for it. What I do is I take these little bullets. You can buy these bullets. You can buy these bullets, and you have to. I can't remember what the name is right now where I got them. Do you know the name? What? Night Prowlers. That's where I got these. Night Prowlers. They're a customizing shop, obviously. Not sure where they're out of, but I would find the little book and I'd find it. But these little things, I got this made, so this goes in here. I don't know where that little piece is. It's supposed to be in there somewhere. And I've got a bullet on there. I will make a plate so I can bolt the steering wheel on there. And this will be the steering column that I've used, the top's cut of it, so you can see the steering wheel, the window nice. So basically, this was the steering column that was in it. It's kind of rough. I didn't want to try, I want it to look nice as I can. And what comes with these cars is there's a lot of stainless steel and a lot of chrome and all that sort of stuff. And if I get a car like this, I've got this piece here, and I had a few other little pieces on it, and they're all pitted. I got the dash pod there. It's all pitted. It doesn't look nice. And I really want to get rid of that if it's not looking nice and it's pitted. It bothers me. So in order for me to sand this steering column down and paint it and have a pitty piece up here and have the shifter on there, I didn't want the shifter on the side. I want to put a console through the car. It's got the blinker system here. I just like the stainless steel column, which looks very nice to me. It's all brand new. It's only $100 and some. I can't do the work to this, sandblast it, get it ready, and do all the work to this as cheap as I can get that done. It's brand new. I'm going to make the steering wheel fix. I will put in the work for the steering wheel, but that's basically what I want to go with, something like this, to make it custom. The steering column's brand new. You can see how I'm going to hook it up now. That's going to be fine. That's going to work out great. I need a double D shaft in this end is what I want. Next time when I get the next piece, I'll just go a little slower on the die grinder and make it just a little bit more fine-tuned. It's fine, but it's just, it slips on now, which could have been a little finer. Yeah. So I will take this steering wheel apart. I'll go on to the other side, and I will weld a plate on there. I'll weld a plate on this piece here so I can bolt it to the steering wheel, or steering column. And basically that goes in there. I don't know where that other piece is. There's another piece to that. There is so. Basically that's where I'm going with it. And I have to cut this piece here to modify this piece. This will go down here like that, like it normally did. Bolts on right, where's the hole at? Right there. Basically, it's in the perfect spot. So this little piece here that I have from Jolene's dash is a 3/4 inch swivel ball that fits that steering column. That's what they're for. I think they're another $100, to be honest with you. Well, you have to have one. See, that's not really an extra one. You have one in the dash of your car now. Jolene has her dash all done. It's in the house. But this one here will be going through the firewall of her car. So she's got one going through the dash just like this. And then we have this. So I'm talking with Jolene's car right at the present moment. She has one here going through the dash. It's down at the house. And then this one here will be going through the firewall. So one to the dash, one through the firewall, and then onto your rack and pinion. This one here, we have it universal joint. We'll have the 3/4 inch ball going through the firewall, and then we'll have it bolted up here. And I'm thinking that I'm going to have, or I'm going to make something here to bring it down and put it at the distance that I want. But I feel that that steering column is in the right place. I feel like it's in the right place. And I will hook the steering wheel up, and we'll take the steering wheel off of that. And I will hook the steering wheel on this and get it in the right place because the dash is sitting where it needs to be. It's not all screwed in there. I'm going to have to get some paint work done on the dash. It's in guide coat. I can spray it. Not sure what color I want to go yet. I see I got a hornet's nest up in here and that sort of stuff. But that's what's going on. I've just put a steering column in it. I'm going to change the universal joint. I want to get the double D shaft for the steering column so it's just, I don't know, just a little tighter. It's the steering, right? I want to be sure that everything's good. The universal joint's going to be welded on at the shaft of the box down there, and I'll have to pour the steering column out of this side, and then I can leave the universal joint right on the steering box itself. Yeah, that makes me happy. So I've sort of got that figured out. This is my brake pedal. I kind of got this over a bit far here. I'm gonna do something there, but I'm gonna wait until I slide that LS in, and then I'll know how far I'm gonna take it over. This piece here, I've got this dash piece here. This is another piece too. See, I've got another piece. This is a dash piece. The glass is cracked. It's got pit. This is all pitty. So I'm gonna have to come up with something to fix that, and I will. It's just I'm going to have to come up with something to fix that because I really don't want that inside the car if it's all pitted. I really like to have it look nice if I can, and I will. It's just a matter of time and what to do. Yeah, I know how I would fix this. I could get the plastic stick-on chrome. I could cut that and put it on there. I know I can do that. I might even run ribs of that on this to make that look nice. Who knows? But yeah. You can tell the glass is broke, so I have to get a new piece of glass. I have to tear that apart and do some work to that. But I do not want that inside the car when I have a brand new stainless steel steering column. The dash is all painted nice. I do not want to go with anything that's pitted or does not look nice. If it does not look nice, then I go take my brain, I use my brain, and I go somewhere else to try to cure it, fix it, or replace it with something else. You know, that's basically what I do. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So basically, if I had the right universal joint, I would weld that on there. I would put that. I might even cut the collar that I had. The collar's right here. I see that the collar, as I'm looking at it, that collar goes down there like that. I might even figure out something where I can cut this off a little bit shorter. where I can have that on there and then weld that piece on there, but yet have something that holds that flint or whatever it is, whatever material it is. I'm not sure what kind of material it is. It's a material that would absorb something. But if I can get that on there and maybe cut this and weld a piece of metal on there, and so it shoves on there and clamps on there, and then weld this on. It doesn't look like there's that much room, to be honest with you, but we'll see what it's going to continue on. I'm just thinking if I cut that off and made a piece of metal that welded on this, if I cut this off, capped it, put a hole in the center of it, and then put the clamp on to hold that piece in place, and then welded that on, I probably could do that. And the reason being is I could take and just bring it up there just a little bit further, knock that up there a little bit further. I'd have this piece down there and still get enough room to weld that on. I might even do that. And the way I would do that is I would just cut this off, put it on a piece of paper, trace around it, cut the round circle over there, weld it all the way around there, cut the hole to the size of the unit I cut the 3/4 inch hole to the size of the shaft. I'd shove it on, clamp it, it'd hold that thing in place, and then I'd shove that piece on and then weld it. That's probably what I'm going to do. And then it would protect that material away from the welding that I do. And it would just take a little more precision, but I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut. Yeah. I'm going to cut this off, weld a flat piece on it, 3/4 inch hole in it, put it on, put the flint underneath, and then put it on. You want to do that right now? What time is it?
It's at 46.
46? All right, we'll leave it.
Maybe we'll do a short clip for Facebook.
Okay. Jolene showed that me and Aiden took a different direction. Jolene's phone's been dying for some reason. I think or she thinks it's because her phone has got so much on it. Her phone's dying. It just dies unexpectedly. And what happened yesterday, we were at Aiden's place. We changed our mind and we went a different direction because it's just throwing all them pieces in there. I've kind of got past that, but I was, trying to go forward with what he had. Better than trying to make pieces, just cut it all out and make all new. So basically what happened is we went to the other side. Because there was gas lines on this side, he can deal with that on his own time, but there was gas lines and the gas in the back. So we went to the passenger side, cut that side out, put a new inside sill in. He can put make a floor pan for it and go like that instead of a piece. It kind of makes a better job when you do that. And another thing too, you learn how the car is put together. Piecing it all up, you don't really learn much. If you take the leap of faith and cut it all out, and then you have to figure out how it's made and then put it back together. So I think he basically knows what's going on now to put that car back together. And what's that? There's a clip of it on Facebook if you want to watch it. And that's what happened there. But if I make this piece, she'll probably clip it and put it on Facebook, and you can go there and watch it. Yeah. So I do lose my patience once in a while. I'm not that super guy that I have super patience and all that sort of stuff. No, I have the will and want to show somebody. But if I feel that person is not giving the brain back to me like I'm giving to them, I shut it off. And that's the end of it. So if you see anybody that's been here and they're gone, it's because I feel like. Yeah, that's how I feel. I just shut it off because I am not going there and I'm not giving my time away for nothing. My time is very precious to me, and I'm not giving it away if someone's not going to give it back. And you should feel the same way. I do not put up with much foolishness because it does not make me happy. And I know what makes me happy, and foolishness does not make me happy, so I get rid of it. I get rid of a lot of things that do not make me happy, believe me. And the reason I do that is because I know what makes me happy and what doesn't. And if you're in a situation where you're not happy about something, I really suggest to figure out if you like it or not. And if you do not like it, get rid of it. That's the end of it. Move on, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move on and continue on doing what I like and whatever makes me happy. We give away a hat or a shirt? We're giving away a hat or a shirt. Let's do it. Let's do it. I don't want to open that computer, sweetheart. Yes, I can. Jolene makes me happy. Thank you, baby. Huh? Fina makes me happy. Most of the time.
And you need this done.
No, I'm not the kind of guy that puts up with a bunch of foolishness for very long. I'm not. When I'm in the shop, it's shop business. We talk about what we're doing in the shop and basically what we're going to do and how we figure it out. When conversations start going to another direction about something else or about whatever foolishness, I generally it turns me off because my brain is here. And when I'm working, I can't figure things out and move forward if I'm thinking about silly stuff. I can't, it's defeating when you come here and something is not, is not being productive. You cannot think about something different when you're working on something. If you're not able to think about what you're doing, you're not going to accomplish anything if you're thinking about something else. And when your brain is not on what the job you're doing, well then you're really not doing the job that you should be doing. And basically, when that happens, you're really not here. Basically, and I am, so that's sometimes I lose my patience. Richard, the guy that won yesterday, I did not say his name. I read it in my own brain, but I did not say. Do we remember his name? Art. So whoever won yesterday, I apologize not reading your name, but you should look on the video because your name, somebody won. If they send it in, you will get a hat or a shirt. Richard Jennings. Good evening, everyone, and wow, what a great video. Thank you for sharing and helping him. Also, congratulations to the winner. Okay, you would know the winner, obviously, or whatever. You're talking about Aiden helping him. I enjoy helping Aiden because I feel that his brain is on the situation. There's no foolishness that comes in. He don't ask me stupid questions. Just don't ask me stupid questions. He goes to work. If he asks me a question, it's about what he's doing or what he needs to do. He's not on his phone. He doesn't. Yeah, he wants to learn. So I'm willing to put my brain there and help him because I feel like he deserves it. He wants to know, and I want to show him. And when I'm on the other path, when I feel like someone doesn't care or doesn't use their brain or want to learn, well, it turns me off. So Aiden is a person that I feel is wanting to learn. I feel like I asked him yesterday. I said, "What do you like about doing this?" Because if you like the design part about it, there's a school you can go to, or there's different avenues you can get into. And he said he likes the process and the work. So to me, the car that Jolene give him, there's no more knowledge that could be given in doing a car like that. Having a car that's all rusty, that's not really worth fixing it runs, it drives and all that stuff. But in the end, if you were just going to fix it and try to sell it and make money off it, no, it's not worth fixing. And that's not what the car is for. The car is for him to fix it up and grab some knowledge how to fix something. And I think yesterday he grabbed some knowledge out of it because now we've taken the little pieces that he's put in. He knows how to put the pieces in. Now we've jumped one more step. We cut all the little pieces out and we're going to make it all. He's going to make the floor pan, make the inside sill, make the outside sill. And he's really going to have the knowledge because he's done the work. If you do not do that work, you really do not have the knowledge. You might have information, someone might show you or tell you, but if you do not do the work, you do not have the knowledge. And what's going to happen is Aiden's going to get knowledge out of fixing that car. And no matter what you say, whether it's worth it, or it's not worth it, it is worth it because he will know how to fix a car. He will know which way to fix it. He can either put pieces in it or he can cut it all out and do it all. And that's what he's going to do. And I do not mind helping somebody that who's got the will and the want. That's what these videos are generally for the person that has the will and the want. If you do not have the will and the want and just watch, we appreciate it. If you have the will and the want and you want to go out and do it, you can do just as I do it. Simple as that. Have a good one, everybody. I don't like losing my patience, but I do sometimes. I'm not that super guy sometimes that is just forgive all and do that. I'm not that. I'm like Aiden said, I'm like a coin. I have two sides. There's a good side and sometimes a bad side. I like feeding the good heart, but when sometimes the bad heart will come out. I'm trying to fix it the best I can, but have a good one, everybody.